Mind Muscle Hustle Podcast with the Strength Emporium, balance boards, rocker boards, maces, mini sleds, anything you need to get strong from the feet up. We got a New Year's sale going on at thestrengthemporium.com. Go give it a check and use the code MAGIC for 10% off. When you do check out, get yourself a balance board and start making those gains, baby. Also, starting the Discord, there will be a link in the bio, and we're trying to get as many people on there. It's free, and we're going to have recipes, jiu-jitsu talk, workouts, videos, the whole shebang, trying to build a community. Come check it out. We'd really appreciate it. Gentlemen.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on?
How we doing, guys?
Good.
Doing good.
What's going on, Caleb? You just got back from jiu-jitsu class. You doing all right there, bud?
I did, man. Went to no gi and gi.
Oh, 2 hours. Yeah, that's good.
Whole 2 hours. It was good, man. I've had a good week. I did a little painting, did some yoga, did some workouts.
Yeah, did you hit any of the daily workouts?
I have not.
You have not?
Workouts yet.
I hit two. They were nice. They're very good. It can be. I realized that just like we were talking about on the Discord, or you were talking about, John, with the habit stacking. Like, I got to get up and start it ASAP. Yeah. I don't have any time to waste. I mean, because like today, I ended up rushing to try to get it done, and if I just would have stayed on task as soon as I got up instead of Instagramming for 45 minutes, I would have been in a much better spot.
Yeah, same here. It's the first thing I do. I drink coffee and then I work out. That's it.
I think I'm going to bring the coffee back. I've been doing the pre-workout and I like it, but man, coffee is delicious.
I'm switching to decaf soon. I got
Really?
just a little bit. Yeah.
Why?
Because I'm just trying to get the caffeine out, but I still have the habit of drinking it. So I've been tapering it down. I don't probably drink a quarter cup of coffee every morning right now.
How's that diet going, man?
It's going good.
It's going good?
Yeah.
You eating a lot of fruit?
Oh yeah. They have
You been drinking smoothies?
4 smoothies a day, and then I have a couple protein shakes and about a pound of beef.
What's your favorite smoothie that you're making?
Man, I don't know. I kind of like them all. The coconut's probably one of the best ones, but dragon fruit and probably also up there is like peaches and cream. That's one of my top.
Yesterday I did frozen blueberries, frozen mango, frozen raspberry, coconut water, and honey, and it was pretty bomb, but
Nice.
Still wasn't quite as good as yours.
I went to Reese's after jiu-jitsu on Wednesday, and I was like, I'm going to buy some frozen fruit and some bananas and go home and make a smoothie. And then I got in there and I started thinking about making seafood soup, and $120 later, I was out of Reese's. But I made a whole
You're on a soup bender,
oh, man,
bro.
it's good, but it's healthy. It's clean.
Yeah.
You get your protein. Man,
Yeah.
It's not much animal
You
fat.
put any dumplings in there?
Hell no. I just lost the 10 pounds from the dumpling fest from 2
Really?
weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah,
I lost
you-
10 pounds this week just from
You
not
went hard
eating
on the
that.
dumplings. It looked delicious,
I did.
though.
A little end of year fattening up session, I guess.
Hey, nothing wrong with some dumplings. How's not drinking going?
Good, man. Right at 2 weeks today. Feeling good.
You feel any more clear or
Yeah.
any
Yeah.
sleep better?
Mentally feel more clear, sleeping better, energy regulation's a little better.
You feel like you're doing maybe a little more energy when you're on the mat, a little more endurance.
Yes, and yeah. I mean, just there's a 1,000 different things that feel better, but for the last week or so, I started feeling real. I mean, just kind of frozen, not excited to be at work, not excited to do anything, and I was like, "What is going on?" And there's a lot that goes with dropping a habit like that, but I was like, something is up with my serotonin or my dopamine or something, and I do pretty good about supplementing all the different stuff I need, but I ended up doing a little research and found this herb called mucuna. It's from the velvet bean or something, but it has L-dopa in it, which is the precursor to dopamine.
Okay.
And so I've been taking that the past 3 days, within 30 minutes, I could tell a difference. And maybe it's placebo, but I don't, whatever, it's working. Get my mind right. I feel
as long as it's working.
my mood at work was 1,000 times better, and just kind of excited to do stuff instead of just treading through the day.
Yeah, I hear that.
So sometimes you got to figure those things out.
My mood at work has been struggling as well.
Yeah.
It's, I get a table of completely rowdy kids that just want to party, and they're like, bro, we want 40 shots right now. And I'm like, dude, there's 10 people at this table, bro. And they're like, why are you the only one that ever says no? And I'm like, because I'm the only one that cares about you guys. And really, I just don't want them to get in the car and hurt someone.
Yeah.
But I've been struggling with that too, man. And attitude is everything. I try to just, tell myself, look, it's not that big of a deal, and to not take things so seriously. Just breathe, get through it.
Yeah, necessary.
Y'all been keeping up with the news lately? Do y'all know about the Tabasco fiasco going around right now?
No,
Tabasco fiasco.
I know there's some
Is
weird
this some
stuff going on
CNN
with
shit
Russia,
or
but I
what?
don't know
No,
about
this is a hilarious story going around, and it's more of a. It may or may not be true, but apparently, apparently Drake met with some Instagram thought in a hotel room.
Oh, okay.
And they had some fun or whatever, and he went to the bathroom, and apparently he put Tabasco sauce in a condom to try to make sure, like a spermicide. And he comes back out, and she went in the bathroom after him, and then apparently she came out screaming and freaking out. She's trying to sue him right now because
Tabasco in a condom?
Is that why someone on Reddit was asking if it's illegal to steal someone else's sperm without their knowledge?
Yes. And she's trying to sue, even though she was in there trying to
Oh, so she was actively trying to get it out?
Yep.
If you're Drake and you are doing that, would you not just flush it or use an actual spermicide?
I mean, I guess that's a test of that's a test for her, I guess.
She failed.
Yeah, that is a test.
Clearly failed.
The guy that went to go check out his girlfriend failed that NFL test.
Mm-hmm.
So Drake obviously plotted that out. He was like, I'm going to bring this Tabasco sauce with me, cuz.
He's saying all he was trying to do was neutralize it, but he said he didn't think she was going to do that. But, I mean, it does seem kind of like he definitely...
Drake knows.
Yeah, he knows.
Drake
I've also realized over the years that when you get caught doing something, it's not the first time you've done it.
Yeah. That's very true.
For both of them.
That's very true. There's been a lot going on in the news, though, man. Everyone's trying to cancel Rogan now.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a thing?
Yeah, they're saying
200
for misinformation. Doctors? Yeah, I can't remember the name of the organization. It was like 270 doctors and scientists are saying that he's spreading misinformation, particularly that Dr. Robert Malone.
Dude, I think that's just going to give Rogan more attention.
Who is an incredibly well accredited scientist that was also one of the developers of the vaccine,
of the actual technology.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can to roast him, but it also seems to maybe because Fauci's getting strung up this week.
I hope so, man.
Well, they did.
Didn't he have some quote like, I am the science or something crazy like that? I mean, when you start saying things like that, those are bold. That's a bold statement.
Yeah, bro. But you know how they claimed that there was no gain of function research being done on this SARS virus, and then, the military, they found Project Veritas found actual documents from the military, the DoD, that said they basically tried to pass off on this, so we don't want to do this type of research, and Fauci went around and did it anyways with his. I can't remember the name of that foundation he has.
That's how he took it to Wuhan, right?
Yeah, the Medical something Alliance, and he took that. He went around the DoD and did it anyways.
Wow!
And they found paperwork on it, so he ended up going before. I believe it was Congress. I'm not really sure, but they're going hard on Fauci this week. So
there's a lot of Fauci fans out there. People
are there
watching the news, and
dude, I'll never forget whenever the shit first went down and we were having a work meeting or whatever because no one knew what we were going to do. And then everyone was like, oh, Fauci says this and Fauci says that. And I was like, who is Fauci?
It's weird all these people showed up we never heard of before.
Ever heard of before.
Have you guys heard about the stuff with Russia?
Not really.
So apparently there was a guy, I think on NPR or something I was listening to the other day, and he was saying that I guess he studies, I don't know, tactical stuff and looks at what's going on politically, and saying that on a scale of 1 to 10, that he's at an 8, thinking that Russia's going to invade the Ukraine.
Oh,
And then
wow.
there was even something on, which I never trust when it's on like, CNN or Fox News or whatever, but it was one of those like major news networks saying that they have intel that they're planning a false flag attack in the Ukraine.
Okay.
So they can go ahead and
And
move
move
those
in.
troops in. Yeah.
I did see where they were circling Hawaii or something on like with a Russian like battleship or something crazy. But they were like, just testing us to see what we would do, I guess.
I don't get it, man. It seems like the whole world should be able to get along just fine, but we keep fighting over
Seems like just theater to me, though.
theatrics, dude. It's the WWE.
I will. Y'all want to talk about some crazy conspiracy stuff?
Sure, let's dive right in.
Well, so like I've been kind of looking at like the economics of what's happening, where it's going from
You've
here.
been following the money?
Yeah,
That's all you got to do if you want to find the answer.
I'm just sort of wondering what's going to happen from here economically,
I
like what's
totally feel
happening
you.
with the, because we're having all these weird shortages and it's weird. And so I've been looking into that a little bit, but I started kind of basically there's a book out called The Limits of Growth, and it was published. I think it was in the 70s, like 73.
Okay.
And there was like 16 MIT scientists and economists and stuff that did this. They were using computer models and stuff to graph out like when will society collapse, or specifically like American dominance.
Right.
And they predicted it would be 2040.
Wow.
Well, the reason is all these kind of technological growth and things like that, but it comes to an end. Well, the thing always ends up being declining birth rates. It's kind of like the most important thing that they came to the conclusion. And we're at a right now critical level. Declining birth rates really bad. So the question, I guess, that you get to, like the main thing you're trying to answer is, will food production slow because of declining population, or will declining population be caused by decline in food production? That's two questions that are very, very important, because one is like less people don't need as much food. The other is not enough food, everyone dies.
Well, I think before you can even address either of those issues, you have to get down to how we're farming the food or destroying the soil.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure.
Because we can't farm anymore. Dude, I think they say like around 2040 or 2050 is when we're supposed to have destroyed all of the usable topsoil.
Yeah, but that's a whole other subject. But this is definitely a thing we need to, I don't know, someone smart needs to figure out. But here's the deal. So the main thing, this thing's been around for a long time, and this study's so prevalent, and it's kind of argued a lot, but the people in power know about this scenario, and they're always sort of like dealing with it, because when MIT gives you information, it's kind of important.
A tad bit, you would think, right? Yeah.
So they are sort of like using it as one of their metrics,
Yeah.
So anyways, the main problem that we're looking at is declining birth rates, because when declining birth rates get to this critical level, the production, like industry production, slows, because the people are too old to do that type of work, and your young people have to do that work, but they're not able to make as much money because there's too many people in the workforce, and these old people hold on to like the management jobs and stuff like that. So there's not enough room for like upward mobility. So then you have like a middle class of people who are kind of like not happy.
Yeah.
And which causes them to, again, not really be set up financially to have more kids. So it just doubles down on this declining birth rate thing, right?
Yeah.
So here's the conspiracy part. Because we're at critical level, and 2040 is coming up real quick, right?
Yeah, it is.
And we obviously know like gain of function was created in a lab, and it seems very, very specific to kill people that are 70 plus.
Very specific.
I mean, there's definitely others that are caught in that casualty, but some people are saying now that they think that this thing was done on purpose because of like essentially all of the struggles with climate change and this. If we don't do something now with this declining birth rate, we're going to, the societal collapse will be a lot worse.
Man,
That's really.
So their theory is less grandmas equals more babies.
Yes. But the crazy, like kind of evil part of it is that they're doing it on purpose.
yeah. I get that. Well, I mean, between the three of us, you're the only one with a kid here. You only have one. I mean, you plan on having any more?
Or would if I were like super financially stable, yeah, man. But it's just so expensive. Like, and
dude, it changes everything.
We can't daycare and all that other stuff. Yeah, man, you can't,
dude. But daycare? Do you really even want someone else raising your kid?
Yeah, you don't want it, but
you kind of have to at some point in time.
Make enough money to survive without it.
I think I have a solution for all this.
What's that?
Kids with jobs. Make your kids go to work.
Well, China's doing it, bro. So that's where we're falling behind. That's why China's falling ahead. So China's got it figured out.
We got to get kids back in the coal mines.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stats out here where like technologically and education and everything else, like America's falling way behind China. China's ahead on all of that.
Man, we are definitely behind in the education department. That's for sure.
The fact that we don't prioritize that as a country, and even more specifically as a state, because we're like, 49th in education?
Yeah, we're way down there, bro.
It's pretty wild.
Our education system, though, the reason why we don't prioritize it is because you don't really get educated when you go to college. You get
indoctrinated.
Yeah. You're not getting a good, unless you go into STEM, those are the only people getting educations right now, engineering, stuff like that. But most of the people going to college are coming out with, a business degree, and that is almost next to worthless.
Have you ever heard about the actual history of school? Where we got it from? Like where we got the ideas or the general structure that we have now for school?
To set up people to work in the factories?
Well, it was the Prussians. They were having this trouble. They're having an issue with their army. They were drafting all these young, teenage 20-year-old men, and they were having problems when they went to war because they all would think for themselves. The farm boys, they've been raised by their parents, working on a farm their whole life, and they would get in the shit, in the middle of a gruesome guerrilla war, and they would just take off. They'd be like, we're out of here, dude. We're bouncing. We're going back home. We don't want anything to do with this. So they came up with the idea of schooling, which was totally designed to get people hyper patriotic and to produce strong soldiers. And it worked really well. And that's the model that we used. It eventually worked its way to America, and that's the model that we used and was sponsored by the Rockefellers to start public school systems.
Well, I mean, yeah. But it's also it is working in some ways. Technologically, we're making some pretty unbelievable gains in the last 100 years, and even right now we're making pretty unbelievable progress, year by year.
But none of us understand that technology.
What do you mean?
I mean, there has been some awesome gains, but
well, so a king in the history ever would have been far worse off than you are today.
Far worse.
Living in your house right now, and your phone,
like that.
You have more information on your fingertips than anyone's had in the history ever.
Well, and even if you think about the most basic technology, like the Bronze Age or fire or something like that, most people didn't understand the technology, but it didn't mean that the population as a whole didn't benefit from it.
That's true.
So maybe it's not such a bad, we know how to use the technology. Yes, if you sent me off into the woods with some base metals and I'm not going to come out with an iPhone.
Hey, how long before you have Wi-Fi?
It's going to be a minute. I won't be real skinny.
Well, what we've done is we've separated everything to a specialty.
Yeah.
And so in order for you to make a computer, there's hundreds of specialties in there.
Yeah.
It's to the point that you've got the people making, the raw materials that they dig out of the dirt. They're specializing in just pulling them out of the ground.
Yeah. And
then you got the people that make the chemicals to help you process that down into other materials. So there's, I don't know how many materials are in a phone, but a computer, but probably hundreds of just raw materials.
I heard that there's only one factory in the world that makes all the delete keys.
Yeah.
And if a tsunami hits it, we're in trouble. Nobody's going to be able to edit their typing.
But so we're all specializing all the way down. You just keep specializing until you got, one factory making the chips and one factory making the keys. And that really, it's kind of nuts. And that's how we do the world. And so when you look outside, you've got the linemen, all they do is hang the wires.
Yeah.
And then we've got it all separated down to where we can just focus on that, and it's kind of speeds everything up. That's what's kind of wild if you look at how this all comes together. If we didn't do it that way, we wouldn't have any of this stuff.
Yeah,
But
totally
it's
see
like
that.
we have assembly lined everything, and that's why we're able to support 8 billion people now instead
Do you
of
think that's why we have been able to grow so large?
yeah, probably.
Assembly lining.
That
everything.
and a lot of people are real horny.
That's
Oh,
true.
So that happens.
That's true. But we don't have enough food and
Yeah.
sperm levels.
I mean, really, I
are
think
low.
showers probably helped that.
Oh man, showers is a big deal.
Like
dude.
that's a big reason for population
The
growth.
showers.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Caleb just ruins every conversation we have. You're banned.
I'll go home now.
Oh man. So have you guys got on the Discord at all?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been on there a little bit.
I seen you posting a little bit, Jonathan. I'm trying to figure out who everyone is on there.
Yeah, I can't tell.
Yeah, it's kind of hard.
Probably gonna have to change my name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Somebody don't know what it is.
from Buffalo Krill.
Buffalo
I was like, who
Krill.
is Buffalo Krill? What does that even mean?
I don't know, man. When I was in third grade, kids used to call me Buffalo.
I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us
I don't
kid.
know. It was just like my jiu-jitsu get back at him, and then I was like Buffalo Bill, Buffalo Krill, and some baby shrimp. I don't know.
All right. Hey,
I had to change it to Caleb the Circus Burgess or something.
Circus.
Yeah, I generally I don't. If you don't have your picture up, there's no way I'm gonna know who we're talking to.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really matter particularly.
Well, we're getting some a little traction on there, and it's cool to see people interacting.
Mm-hmm.
It's good to see that growing. The workouts on Saturday and Sunday were a lot of fun, man. I had a great time out there. Caleb was there. Jonathan was there. We were all there rocking. It was a good time. Had a decent turnout. How many people we have? 7?
Yeah, something like that.
It was fun too, man. People were smiling while they were struggling to get their reps in,
Yeah, man.
laughing, having a good time, working out in the sun.
Jesus, take the weight.
Jesus, take the weight.
Take this weight,
Yeah.
We're
please.
gonna do it again this week. It may be snowing, so we'll see what happens there. But either way, we can still do something, or if not, we'll hit it next week.
Well, this
No big
will
deal.
this
Tomorrow's
come out.
supposed to snow.
Yeah, but this won't be out till next week.
Well,
Right?
Same guys.
Same guy.
Well-
might snow next week too.
We'll figure it out. We're going to start looking at some other places too. Maybe the Jinx Bridge, maybe a hill area of some sort. Me and Jonathan
Yeah.
still got to go scout that out and figure it out. But looking forward to the weather getting nicer outside and more people being at the park. And just, I mean, every person that walks by looks at us. They're like, "What in the hell?"
There was
are
a
these
film crew
people
out.
doing.
Looking at us.
What?
Yeah, some film crew walked down there to film something on the river, and then they saw us working out, and they stopped and watched for like 20 minutes.
Really? I
Yeah.
didn't even see that.
Yeah, there was a lot of
Because
people
my arms were so blown up from doing curls for
You're
a minute straight.
busy getting wrecked.
Dude, my arms were blasted, bro. And trying to do the plank bar presses, good Lord, dude. I was having great form, and then all of a sudden, like, my biceps were just like, Jesus, take the weight, please.
Good night time.
It was good, though, man. Those great workouts. Looking forward to more of them.
And we got the daily workouts going on the Discord, so you can get in there and click on the daily workout channel, and every day we're going to have it going up. And I've kind of got a 3-week cycle going, so we'll be hitting basically like one energy system every 3 weeks and kind of change it up. That'll keep us entertained and not doing anything too terribly long, because by the time we start to get a little bit broken down, we're going to move on to something else. And we're trying not to get too wild with workouts yet, but as everybody gives me feedback and we start to see, how people are dealing with it and stuff, we're going to start stepping it up a little bit. And so the more you talk to us on the Discord, the more you let us know how the workouts are going. And what I'm really hoping to do is get everyone talking so we can kind of educate each other
Yeah.
on how it all works. That's the main thing that I really want to see happen. I want us to really deep dive, ask questions, and really try to go in depth on some things so we get some good understanding and not just like following these workouts blindly.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You came out and you're like, do you guys know why we're doing this? And everyone's like, no, we have no clue why we're doing this. Is because you said so, bro.
Yeah.
And you broke it down, the 3-week system and how we're going to keep changing it up.
You know, and the next one we're doing strength skill right now, or strength endurance, same thing.
Right.
And so we're kind of like doing a little bit higher reps, but you're doing them in kind of lower rep sets, so like sets of 5, things like that. And that's so we can really dial in on the form.
Yeah.
Get your form right, and you will be able to pick up a little bit of heavy weights because you're only doing 5 reps. You're kind of getting used to moving some weight a little bit. We only have a few more days of that. You know, January 21st, we'll go on to the power phase.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, everybody hears power. They start thinking powerlifting, but that's not what we're going to be doing.
No.
We're working on explosiveness, and that type of power.
Yeah.
So jumping higher, being able to, you know, move faster type thing. That's when we want power, I mean actual power. I think powerlifting is probably actually the opposite of what the definition of power would be.
I think you're right, man. I mean, dude, how cool would it be to be able to, you know, be 40 years old and be able to dunk a basketball?
Oh, man. That ought to be, I mean, for anyone over 6 foot, that ought to just be normal.
And that's tough, man.
Yeah.
That's very tough. But man, when you threw 90 pounds on the mini sled and we were running it, dude, you want to talk about a pump? It's just so much different than when you have 45 pounds on there. You know, 45 pounds really, you can get a good pump. When we were walking them for, what was that, a mile? Over a mile. That was a good pump, man. I mean, you don't want to do 90 pounds with that, but when you're just running those little sprints, 90 pounds is killer, man. It felt like the sweet spot.
Yeah, and on the mini sled, it is a 100% jump, so it's definitely going to be worse. But
yeah,
mini sled, 90 pounds is getting to that point of like, it's a perfect weight for just about anyone.
Because it was really pressing my lungs. I was having to breathe, and I mean, obviously my legs were blown up after that.
So, Jonathan, your wife was there, and she worked out pretty hard. She's been hitting those daily workouts. Was she wrecked on Monday?
Not as bad as I thought she'd be. I was really kind of hoping she'd be in a lot of pain.
Dude,
she said she was a little sore, but
I saw the look on her face when we were working out there. I was like, "Oh man, Mackenzie's getting after it, dude! Like she's going for blood."
Yeah, I was planning on like handing her heavy objects she couldn't pick up and stuff, but she was fine. She wasn't nearly as bad as she thought she'd be.
It was good to see her out there, man.
Although she did that leg workout yesterday, and she's been limping around.
Yeah.
Pretty sore from that.
Dude, my quads were blown up from that, man. It was good. Those axe chop squats, or I'm sorry, the mace squats, they'll light you up.
Yeah. And of course, I want everyone to get the equipment we're using in there.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
All of these things you can always like grab a dumbbell and just mimic the same thing.
Yeah, the same movement.
Yeah, for sure. And then and also I'm writing the workouts right now very simple, but I mean if you slow down your reps, if you add a little bit more weight to it, you're going to get a great workout. And that's kind of how I'm designing to do it, because you need to kind of take a little bit of ownership of what you're doing and kind of make it work for you, because I'm talking to a large group of people, so I'm trying to keep it very just in the middle where everyone can kind of do it.
I feel like you're nailing it, man. I mean, just having done the last several workouts, I mean, I feel like you're in a good lane.
Thanks, man.
It. And I mean, it makes me just want to improve my ability to put together workouts and slowly increase the load or decrease the load depending on, what you're trying to work on.
I can tell, like going back and reading the stuff as I've got, because I've got out all the way through March. I've programmed all the way out. And as I get a little into it, I might get a little out of hand. So you'll see some workouts that might be a little rough on you, but that's just because, I get excited with the pin.
Yeah, I expect that. I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, to be quite frank.
Yep.
Especially once, we get to March and that weather's nice.
Oh, we're going to so that's the other thing I've done. So I kind of wrote like a skeleton thing, and as the different months, they're also in 3-month blocks.
Okay.
And so as the months go on and you kind of know the weather's going to change a little bit, I'm hoping to use kind of we're going through the same, energy system cycles, but we're going to be doing like more sled or more like farmer's carries and things that we're doing outside, and which will make it very, very interesting as we go. And the big thing too that we're going to have the videos up very soon.
Yes.
I'm starting to figure that part out, and I'm wanting to upload it to YouTube, but that takes an immense amount of time. So I'm trying to figure out a little bit simpler way to do it, to just get like the exercises right underneath the daily workout, so you can kind of see just a clip of what it's supposed to look like. Because I know the names for all this are so different with everybody. It's very confusing.
Yeah, it is very confusing. No one knows what a mace squat is, or I mean, I think people understand what the mini sled is, but it's just going to take time.
Yeah, for sure. But that's the value of those videos, and we'll have that up very soon. So just wing it for now. We're just getting in that. Really, right now, what we're trying to do is get in the habit of working out.
Well, and people have been posting videos of their own workouts, and I plan to post some of mine. And that will at least help before we start getting actual content.
Yeah, the way Discord's set up is you can set videos in there that are like 3 to 5 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering that because I tried to upload one and it was like 7 minutes long.
Can you use GIFs?
I'm not sure about that. You can
that
do longer videos, but they make you pay for the.
They offered me to upgrade.
Yeah, the upgrade thing. But if you're not doing the upgrade, then it's just like a 3 to 5 second videos.
Yeah. You might be able to film some of those and just make them into GIFs.
I have no idea how to do that.
I'll show you.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We're making GIFs. All right.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal.
You're just using computer magic. It's whatever.
I understand this technology, guys. Stand back.
I type with a rock. 2 rocks.
Oh, man. Yeah, that Biker Fox GIF was pretty good. I don't know where you found that.
Yeah, that was good.
That was pretty hilarious.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, Biker Fox has actually agreed to come on the podcast. So we're going to have him on, and it'll be fun.
Get ready, guys.
Yeah, he's going to talk to us about fitness and weight loss and stuff like that.
Local legend, Biker Fox.
Definitely a big legend around here.
Evidently it's an interesting story, man, and hopefully we can get him to talk more about it. I know dude, I've been seeing Biker Fox since I was a kid, riding my bike around everywhere. And that was like the first thing I heard, because we were all like, who is this madman? And back then he was younger. He was doing like front handlebar flips all the time. He had all these Biker Fox tricks that he did. And like, we were just like, wow, this dude is crazy. And someone was like, yeah, he lost a bunch of weight mountain biking. And that's like, that's what he does now, and blah, blah, blah. And dude, I've seen Biker Fox, dude. Okay, you got to give Biker Fox this consistency. Every single year he's out there, you will see him in Tulsa mobbing around on his bike.
I found out about him because I had a friend that did some photography and stuff, and she actually helped him develop his first website.
Really?
She was like, you got to see this guy like flipping over his bike and doing crazy stuff.
What TV show did he end up getting on?
The one, that little skateboard dude.
Ridiculousness?
Yeah, Ridiculousness.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's kind of a big deal.
Big times.
Kind of a big deal. It's anyways, it'll be fun.
We're excited to have him on and excited to talk to him. I'm really hoping he'll kind of like get real with us and tell us his story, but we'll see what happens. I know he's going to give us some fitness tips for sure. And
I can't wait to hear Biker Fox's fitness tips. Let's get him on the Discord too.
Oh yeah, for sure. He's hilarious, man. So
yeah, that would be awesome, man. I can't wait to see what kind of stuff he has to say.
Well, what else has been in the news?
Man, I saw the New York Times report that Prince Charles is no longer part of the royal family. His military and
I don't think it's Prince Charles. I think that's
no. Prince Charles. Prince Charles.
Andrew.
Prince Andrew. Sorry, Prince Charles is the old one, the real old one.
Oh, and I saw related to that Ghislaine, Maxwell, that apparently she's not fighting them. Like letting go of some other list of people.
Man, I think we all need to know who's on those lists.
I think she's scheduled for suicide one.
I would imagine she's scheduled for that pretty soon.
That's that's pretty rough. But I'm kind of glad to see some people are actually getting like some people in power are actually being punished.
If that's a real thing, man. I mean, the New York Times reported it. Prince Andrew. I mean, holy moly.
The evidence must be overwhelming in order for them to admit that.
It has to be, right?
And, yeah.
Or they're just giving us one. Like, oh, we'll just
Just
sacrifice
tossing
one
out for us.
Toss
Yeah.
one to the plebes.
Yeah,
taking one for the team. And
That
he
used to be
protect-
kind of a thing, right? They would toss them out every now and then, to the plebs.
I mean, we start bringing the pitchforks out, which I guess people are sort of doing right now because they're mad about everything.
Man, there's a lot
They
of
gotta-
people I've seen the Canadians marching. I've seen the Australians marching. But isn't it crazy that it seems like the main thing we can do is just march in the streets?
Yeah,
Isn't that weird?
it's peaceful protesting, bro.
Man, that's weird.
I don't. Maybe it's just all a show. Maybe that's part of the show too.
Yeah, maybe that is part of the show.
Like, look, you guys are really sticking up for yourselves.
Look at you plebs. You're really sticking up
Y'all
for
are-
yourself.
Y'all are really
Out
going to
in
do
the-
it this time.
Out in the cold, really screaming. hooting
Ooh,
and
you look
hollering.
angry.
Oh, man. Can someone get the police out here?
Uh-oh,
and
don't let
stop
'em get
these guys?
us.
Probably.
Do you
Yeah.
think Prince Andrew's taking one for the team? Maybe then he's protecting what?
It says you're going to get his body double, and then he'll go off to an island somewhere and keep doing what he's been
Prince
doing.
Andrew ain't seeing no justice.
Yeah.
That's
But
not a thing.
they took his honor.
Yeah, until they took it, until we get some like Dark Knight vigilante justice like they were doing, making people walk out onto the frozen lake in the Dark Knight. I think that's the only kind of justice that we can.
Maybe Prince Andrew can start dropping some names.
Maybe
He lost his rank and everything.
I doubt it.
Be like Jared from Subway.
We already
Dude,
got
that's
him.
real, bro. We already got Jared from Subway. And I
know,
wonder
but-
if he flipped. Jared from Subway is on some bad shit, man.
I don't know, dude. This is so crazy because it just seems like I don't know. Like when I was younger and I heard about pedophiles, I thought there was like 3 of them,
Right?
and then, this I guess it's just been since 2020. It's just, or I don't know when this all really went down. I guess when Trump got elected is when I started really learning.
Yeah.
Like there's, I guess, thousands upon thousands of them. I just can't believe the overwhelming numbers of this stuff. It's just,
Well, man, like I remember whenever South Park came out with the NAMBLA episode, and I was like, "What in the hell is like this? This cannot be real." And the North American Boy Love Association or whatever, that's like a real thing.
really.
Yeah, that's a real thing, dude. And it's so out in the open. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. I just never, it was just so mind boggling for me. I just never thought it would have been like, I thought maybe every town had one.
Yeah, and it's evidently way more than that.
Yeah. But I'm glad to see people are getting,
Man, one thing that I find is interesting, I feel like everyone at some level is experiencing some sort of an awakening,
yeah, I guess. Oh, I mean,
Maybe not.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I mean, I don't know how to like quantify what an awakening would be.
Right.
It's just like they're doing what to the kids, like
Yeah.
and then everyone's always like on high alert because the pandemic's been pretty rough on everybody anyway. So everyone's just like on full red alert, and all this stuff is just all happening at once, which is pretty wild. But also, you wonder, like, if that thing about them trying to kill all our grandparents is true, then it's just a show they're putting on.
Yeah, I mean, it all does seem like one big show. That's what Rome was, right? I mean, when they were crumbling, they just
Bread and circus.
bread and circus, hundreds of days of games, and just keeping everyone preoccupied with absolute nonsense. And then all of a sudden, the German Mongols come in and just wreck shop. And bye,
one
Rome.
of the crazy things about that first lockdown was seeing some of the satellite images of different cities and like the waterways and what's that Italian
Like nature healing.
Yeah, like dolphins coming back into the waterways and
It was interesting.
Wherever that
Man,
was. Yeah.
even like the pictures of downtown LA.
Yeah, all that smog going on.
The smog within 30 days was gone.
Yeah.
Completely. And I mean, that's pretty amazing. If that doesn't speak for how, the earth can just, if we stop messing with stuff, it can just clean itself up.
And my friend Jeremy that's out there, I talked about him last week. He's been going out into like LA and doing this black and white photography of like just people on the street, like talking to him and doing some crazy good photography. But it's wild, man. It's just out of control, like the homeless people. Like he says, it's so nuts.
Well, what was that? The new agenda that they have for like you will own nothing and you'll be happy or whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
The Great Reset.
Yeah, the Great
Klaus
Reset.
Schwab.
Yeah, Klaus.
Yeah.
So when they're talking about some of that stuff is talked about in that the Limits of Growth book.
Okay.
And what we're kind of, I guess, what they're reaching for with that, whatever this new initiative is us all kind of like not need. We have to use or reuse more of our resources, and it's kind of like we should all be like doing ride shares and things like that. They're really trying to push for this, like burning up less of our resources, which is a really good thing. But the scenario is that either they don't know how to communicate to the general population without making them incredibly angry, or they like seeing us freak out. Whichever one it is, the actual like logistics of what that's supposed to be is not so bad, because it is literally just like investing in our recycling and our technology for waste management.
Yeah.
And then also like renewable energies and stuff like that, right? Like normal stuff. But then the way that they say it, it's like, you will own nothing and you will be happy. It's like, hold up.
Yeah, doesn't that sound a tad extreme?
Yeah, and why did they let that guy say it? Of all the people that could have given that speech, they let Klaus Schwab.
Yeah, they let him get up there. And
he sounds like an evil scientist, like Nazi scientist in every movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, it sounds like Dr. Evil, man. Are you kidding me? It's absolutely unbelievable.
It's a joke to them.
It is. But, and even with, the whole push to electric automobiles and this whole thing, like, aren't you just kind of shocked that we can't come up with a legit local transportation system? Like, how impossible does that actually seem? Like, it seems like it would be very doable.
Well, to be honest, that's the problem. If we were being honest, then I think we could do all this stuff really easily. But this is about people making money.
True.
And if someone's not making enough money off of it, that means it's not economically viable.
That's true.
And so, the actual like logistics of putting this together, and I think we have so many people are so unbelievably brilliant that could just fix all of these problems if they
very quickly.
If our leadership would actually back them. But their leadership goes, well, can we make a bunch of money off this? And the smart people are like, nah, this is too simple.
That's exactly right. I saw a list of senators that are, I think they're like beating the S&P 500. They're trading at unprecedented, unbelievable gains that no one else in the market is making.
Nancy Pelosi is the GOAT.
Dude, like it speaks. It's a huge hedge fund.
There's a bunch of like basically kids. I mean guys, but kids on TikTok who all that they do is they watch Nancy Pelosi's investments and mimic them, and have become.
Sound like a bad idea.
Of every single one of them that do that are like multi-millionaires.
How do they find out what she's investing in?
They watch her husband's investments. It's all public because she's a congressperson.
Yeah.
Oh, well, why aren't we doing that?
Because I'm retarded. That's why.
I should be doing that.
I got to do something that's $50. It's burning a hole in my pocket. Birthday money.
Yeah. If I knew how to read, I would all be all over it. But they didn't teach me that in the Army.
You mentioned electric cars, and it's making me think of Elon Musk. I saw him on Lex Friedman the other day, and Lex was like, "What's the deal with Mars?" He said 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Mars in 5
Who
to 10
knows?
years. Would you go?
No, dude, I'm not going to Mars, bro. Are you kidding me? Let's rebuild the Earth, man. Let's get. What
about if it's like settled and it's like nice, like you'll make it and you make it back, but it's gonna take like a few years of your life to go there and go back. You wouldn't go. You wouldn't like spend 3 years of your life to have a voyage like that.
To go to Mars?
To go to Mars, hang out for like 6 months and come back.
On the red planet with no atmosphere?
No. I'm saying like they terraform it. They make it like a little vacation spot or whatever. You get to rub around a little vehicle. And yeah, like let's just pretend we live like...
Listen, Bezos can afford to do that.
Yeah.
But we still read the menu from right to left.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we can't afford the appetizers, okay?
Yeah. I don't think I would do that, man. That does not sound like... something I'd want to do.
be pretty amazing.
You would jump on board? You would be,
I don't know,
be ready
man.
to roll?
I think it would depend on if, like, how long it took to get there, and if I had to stay awake and in this tiny ship the whole time. I think I'd go crazy.
Here's my problem. I've never taken a vacation on Earth. So I'm really having a hard time really computing going to Mars.
Going to Mars for a vacation.
I think I can deal with maybe Thailand.
I think that encapsulates everything that I hate about vacations.
It's all travel time.
It's all travel time for this. Yay, 2 days of fun. Oh my goodness. Get your camera and take the pictures.
Yeah. I think I'll just stick to Thailand, bro. That's too far for me.
You can just Photoshop me into Mars.
I'm fine with that.
Photoshop me in right next to Bezos.
Well, you need one of those picture. Just Photoshop it with that. You know, the girls reaching back and holding your hand.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that would be hilarious.
We need to do that right now.
Yeah, we need to do that right now.
That's the cover for this episode.
I need a cowboy hat. Stat.
Caleb, make a GIF. Hurry. A GIF? How do you say it?
Is it GIF or GIF?
I don't know. I'm still a boomer.
Yeah, me too, man. It's rough. Not understanding any of this newfangled technology.
I can make you one, but I'm going to have to do it on my night bright. So it's going to take a while.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. What do y'all think?
Well, it was good. Yeah, we can end it here.
Well, guys, come out to the park with us whenever you get a chance. Saturday, Sunday at noon. Join the Discord. We appreciate the support. Caleb, anything you want to say?
Yeah, I wanted to say I've heard from some of our buddies at the jiu-jitsu school. I've heard from friends and family members, some different people listening to our podcast. People are enjoying it. So I just wanted to say thanks, guys.
Definitely.
For supporting us. It means the world to us. And keep listening.
Yeah, it really does mean everything, guys. Keep hitting us up. Let us know. Ask us questions. Whatever, man. We're just here to talk. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.